welcome to episode 41. It is Karandrin role playing. I'm Kevin Manus Pennings, your host and game master. I'm also known as Crack Palantir. And this is, as I said, episode 41 of Brise's Tale. And as always, my good buddy Max is here to play the intrepid paladin Brise. Max, say hey.
Hello, everybody. Intrepid is a good choice of words. I like that.
It's a good word.
Being beautiful, amazing, spectacular. Hope you're all doing well tonight, and hope you're ready for some good old-fashioned Karandrin role-playing.
That's right. I was thinking, I haven't said this in a while, but to anybody watching who's new and needs a refresher, so this is organic, sandbox, and continuous, as opposed to episodic role playing. And I realize I haven't focused much on the continuous part, and I want to explain what that means briefly before we do a recap and we plunge into the story. And so, by continuous role playing, what I mean is we don't do sort of just sort of episodic adventures where you drop in, you're there, and you go into the dungeon or into the mystery, whatever it may be. Instead, it's continuous in that you live day by day. Now, some of the stuff we just roll through, if he's going to go shopping or something, he and I will do that off screen because it's not very interesting to watch. And I know sometimes we have slow spots because of that style, but it's how it's always done, Karandrin. And I was very curious to see how it would be received by our stream audience. And so, as always, leave us comments and subscribe and all kind of great stuff and let us know. But so that's one of the hallmarks of this style of playing that I've always done for the last 30 years or so. And one of the great things about that is you sort of really do choose what adventures to pick up, choose what mysteries to follow, abandon them whenever you want, and I'll just roll with the punches as the game master. So, Max, buddy, tell us what big developments happened last episode, because it was kind of a big episode.
Well, I mean, it's continuous, so I guess we have to start from the beginning, right? So Brise was born and Grattenwell. No, yeah. For anyone following, last session had a meeting with Adabir, the elderly wizard, who was helping us on our quest to locate and draw power from, and then eventually free the demon Kralum to return him to his own world here. I had a meeting with Adabir, and he came up with a really interesting proposition, which is that it's possible that I could teleport straight to Kralum's prison immediately, because I have seen a vision of him chained in his prison, and
over the mouth of an active volcano.
Over the mouth of an active volcano, and I mean, screaming danger, and all the things that could go wrong. There are many, and kind of discussed some of them initially, and had a couple, just constructive arguments, see if it's even possible. He brought it up with his apprentices as well, and had to bring up Verilag, talking about Verilag, the evil sorceress who has imprisoned Kralum and draws power from him. He had to bring Verilag up with the apprentices, and it sounds like Tegrif, now one of his apprentices, is probably going to betray us if he gets a shot at learning from Verilag, it seems. I had that realization last episode, which was good to have, but a little scary to have. It mainly was just kind of talking through all that and the repercussions of it. I think we're going to continue that into this session somewhat. That idea of being able to teleport straight to the volcano, resist whatever or deactivate whatever defenses are there, and try to bring over Adabir and the other wizards to do some studying of the demon in his prison. So,
and Kagrov is hoping, we think, to get you in a meeting, to get Verilag to arrive and interact with you, and we suspect that he's pushing for that, so he can offer his services to Verilag and rat out this whole thing about attempting to free Crown.
Right. Yeah. The repercussions of that are enormous.
Right. And specifically, the worst of them is it really may be the end of Brise. She can't kill you, because if she kills you, Verilag herself goes to the prison waiting for her, a magical prison in a lake some hundreds of miles away. But she can capture you, imprison you until she's ready to use you. And how you would get out of that, I've really no idea, given how powerful Verilag is.
Yeah, we would just be basically meeting here, rolling for me to do nothing, and then maybe 500 sessions later, I get freed somehow.
That's right. We'll meet.
Just come back and Verlag's taking over the world. All right.
Yes, and that is a real possibility. Is it, well, the world we don't know. Certainly the region. She certainly held an enormous role in the region at one point. Yeah. So yeah. We are. So now you had your meeting with Tegriv. You went to bed. You had quite a tense dream, and of sort of being pulled apart by various tensions. Adabir and his staff at one end of you pulling, Kralum at another, and Tegriv and Verilag at another, and you woke sort of rattled and frustrated and tense. And are we just after you woke up? Is that where we are?
I just wrote down I had a dream, so I guess I haven't. So yeah, basically on the cusp of waking up.
Sure. So
Obi-Wan Karen says, I think your style of role playing is really ingenious. What a lovely opinion, unbiased.
Totally unbiased.
Well, thank you, Karen.
But you're very sweet. So you wake up rather late. It's mid-morning when you wake. And you feel just unsettled and not really rested. Your bedclothes are. Do you know that expression, bedclothes? We had a discussion with this. Bedclothes is an expression referring to all the things that make your bed, sheets and blankets. Those are bedclothes. Yeah, one word. Yeah, all one word. Bedclothes.
Okay, I would just call it sheets. That kind of is everything. Yeah.
Well, but it includes pillows and includes blankets.
Right, because there also is a sheet. Yeah.
Right.
And then you're right, the pillows and everything. Huh.
So your bed is just twisted and tortured, and you can tell you've been tossing and turning, and you're like, oh, no wonder I woke up so late. What a lousy night's sleep. What sort of you need to decide? You expect that you have to decide soon about?
Yeah. That's true. A decision very soon. I really wanted to bring it up with Kralum first and foremost, just see if it's even possible, see if it's even
right. Oh, and you were hoping to arrange a meeting between Kralum and Adabir.
That too. Yeah.
But Kralum didn't show up last night.
No. So I might just have to wait for him again. In terms of that, the other thing is, I remember I should mention that the apprentices in Adabir don't think they can provide defenses to me enough to protect me if I teleport there. We have to hope that We have to hope that, because of my affiliation with Verilag, that the defenses won't harm me. Whatever magical barriers or walls are in place, that I could pass right through them without being harmed.
Right, you'll be mistaken for Verilag because there is some sort of connection between you.
Mm-hmm. Identity fraud.
Identity fraud. Theft, actually. Theft. you know, partial theft, I guess, So we had a colleague years ago who went through identity theft, and it just took. I mean, it took I don't know how many. That took 2 or 3 years
Oh, geez.
to get all that stuff straightened out.
Yeah.
It was just awful. They had taken mortgages out in her name. It was awful.
What did they say about Brise?
Yeah, I
2
know.
to 3 years later, I'm still dealing with this issue. But why don't we go clean up and see if Aldrich is available? I think it'd be apropos to try talking to him and arranging some time to meet with him and discuss the issue. Maybe have lunch or dinner together. Make plans for that.
Well, you can always have, in terms of cleaning up, you can always have the staff run you a bath. And you could eat a quick breakfast, run a bath. Hopefully Crowlum will find you at some point in that time.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do that. Take a little while. Get ready for the day.
So, yeah, just wave down a chambermaid and ask for a bath to be run and for some breakfast to be brought up to your room. You just select your clothes and so on, and probably if you're not really expecting, are you expecting to go out today?
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be kind of another easy day, just
Making contacts,
talking,
gathering information.
Not in a mood to be adventuring. I really shouldn't be either because this decision is
right. Things may move very quickly once. Now, the thought was, just to correct you on one thing you said, that they might be able to partially protect you from whatever magical onslaught might hit an intruder if you were to teleport to.
Right.
So it wouldn't be complete protection, but the idea is that it might protect you long enough for you to be able to teleport away.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Because they don't, even Adabir, at his advanced stage of learning and knowledge of magic and so on, Verlag's power is just so great that there's only so much they can do. So hopefully you could get back, maybe grievously wounded, and then oh, that's right. And you have to decide when to talk to Adabir about Tegrov, right? Did we mention that?
I don't think I did bring that up, but you're right. That is absolutely something I have to do. Yes. Integrative.
So, bath is prepared. They bring you a breakfast that you eat quickly. You want to send a note to Aldrich while you have?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the note would say, do you want to mention that it's like a grave matter, or just kind of just say meet up?
Yeah, you sort of have to assume that it's going to be read. It's going to be intercepted and read before it makes it to him.
Yeah, good point. I guess like just emphasize the importance of it. It'd be very, very nice to see you there. I would be crestfallen if you could not appear.
Okay.
Appearance.
Um,
Or any type of lunch or dinner today.
So you sort of probably direct him to the upstairs lounge.
Sure, yeah.
Um,
Parlor or
yeah, the parlor where you met Tegriv.
we need a map of this place. I'm like, oh, there's like many parlors and rooms and.
That's right. This is for high end guests.
Mhm.
Um, so if you haven't looked at the really cool blueprint, the layout of Whitechapel, which was one of the Henry's castles. I get all the King Henry's confused, but it's really cool because they have them one of the early layouts of it, the original. And it's like, this is so and so's apartments. This is so and so's apartments. This is so and so's apartments. And it's just really, it was just dozens of people's apartments, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, so you bathe and luxuriate, as they said on Firefly. And where are you leaning on the big question of teleport?
I'm leaning towards wanting to do it. And I mentioned this before because of because of my impatience. I think that would kind of fit in with my personality. Be like, if this is a shot that works, then it'll work, and save us a lot of time and risk down the road, right?
And for our viewers, it saves time because we're not even certain which volcano it is.
Right. And which volcano, and finding the volcano, which is clearly going to be obscured with some type of magic, which we don't know what that is either.
Right.
So, yeah. So, me being impatient and me just being, I think, kind of my personality. I know we mentioned like ambition. You said that was a little bit different, but Brise feels like, as a paladin, someone who wants to do this. This is like a very, I guess, good thing. Like it would, it's very brave and courageous.
It fits. Yeah, it certainly fits with what your faith would call a heroic deed.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think that's why I'm leaning towards going through with it. Right now I'm just seeing if it's possible.
Right. And
trying to improve my chances of it.
Right. And as we mentioned last episode, there's a real chance that the defenses around the mountain, if they detect you as an intruder, they're going to kill you. But the irony of that is that Verilag's defenses, her own defenses, will kill you. And when you dead, she is immediately imprisoned again.
Mm-hmm.
You are sort of a foot in the door of the jail, the jail cell.
Right.
And so she can exude some power over out in the world. We know that the body she has is not hers, that she has possessed someone, and is now using that person to cast spells and interact physically with other people. And so, but with your death, that all ends.
Right.
Another note, at least in sort of the style of role playing, is I don't believe in an adversarial style of game mastering because I don't see any challenge in that whatsoever. It's very easy to kill players. It's much harder to keep them alive.
It really is.
And so I don't mind killing a player, and particularly if they're bad at what they're doing anyway. I don't have any desire to see them continue. But also if it serves the story, if it would be sort of an interesting or meaningful end to a character's life. And this certainly would qualify, it's
if it came down to one roll, it's like either way you roll, it would be definitely an amazing story point,
right.
Either a great close to the story or a great turning point.
Right. Yeah, it's a weighty moment. So the bath is lovely. It feels like it clears your head. Um, probably have your clothes sent off to be cleaned as well.
Sure, yeah, definitely like to be clean and organized.
And so, you just, you spend like an hour with them just refreshing the water with hot water and so on. And they take your clothes and clean them and then, dry them over a fire as quickly as they can. Would not surprise me if magic was used to dry them. And you get a note in the meantime from Aldrich, who says he will certainly be there. It'll be somewhat past noon because he has some obligations that he has to accomplish. What do you think about? I mean, are you going to try to have a decision for him also? I guess I'm saying before you meet him.
Yeah,
do you
well,
think you should decide.
I was thinking just to meet him, just to bring it up
Yeah.
as a. I mean, obviously he's going to say like, no, I don't want you to. But I mean, I don't know, like, because like Brise would still be kind of uncertain. She says, yes, I want to like do this thing, but as an obligation, I guess, as a he's like another ear, just to
Right.
talk it by him and not obviously the plan in detail, but just either his support or his guidance. Yeah.
Right. There's a big risk I can take. That I don't know what you're going to say. It's going to be interesting to talk.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. I'm like, he's going to be there past noon. I'm like,
right. You're going to do that thing.
Be busy today. I'm like, fuck. Now I got.
You're going to be taking out like notes. Aldrich, I need to talk to you about. So.
Yeah.
I should hop over here because I can. Sorry, I should
have
added all.
I think I just want to. Because like I'm kind of leaning towards doing it, and I'm like, am I making a mistake by doing this? By taking this risk? I don't know if does he really value me that much? Like, and then I would regret doing that. To kind of bring it up in that way, I guess.
Sure. Well, it's one of the weird things about relationships, right?
Right.
There's honoring their wishes, and then there's protecting them to the extent that you can protect them, and it's
exactly yeah.
It's a weird balance.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that the bath has emboldened you towards taking the risk.
Bath of emboldening.
That's
Nice.
it. That's
cool magic item, Kevin.
All these magic items I have.
A lot to carry around, but
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it just gives you energy and you feel more clear-headed.
Yeah.
You've asked for lunch to be taken up to one of the upstairs parlors. You tell them that Aldrich will be here and so escorting him there. You get dressed in your freshly washed clothing. Actually, it's more freshly dried. But and upstairs you go. Is there anything you need to fetch from your room?
No, I was gonna bring up though if there's any like gap of time, between any of these commitments.
There's some.
Yeah, I do have a couple. If you remember, there was some research that was being done on like a Nath Noro and the Iron Empress, and a couple though in like some of the gods from a couple different sources. And I think it's been like long enough that we might have heard back from them. So I know like these issues are really important, but I guess if I ever feel like looking back into that, I could always.
Well, and you would have to travel down to town and back. You don't have enough time for that unless you're going to
Exactly.
teleport.
That was that one. But the other one was a library here, and the one
Oh,
library
okay.
would visit me if they had any information.
Right. And how long has it been? Do you recall the date?
Yeah, I have it written down here.
So here's my note on that. Oh, it's in the back here.
Starting on 4/27, 1 week's worth of research. So 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's been it's the end of the week now. So it's pretty perfect actually. If like that could, there's a gap of time we could.
Right. So he would have sent you a note, but it might come throughout the day.
Yeah.
So when you go back to your room, you're hoping for a note. And what were the list of topics?
So Bayval's research in Mughal's library on the topic of the Iron Empress and Nath Noro.
Right.
Yeah.
There is indeed a note while you're in the bath.
Perfect.
He feels he is at an end. He's at a dead end, but has had no luck. There are mentions of the Iron Empress as a, as sort of an ancient god of an ancient pantheon. They are referred to generally negatively, the followers of them and so on. That's as much as he found. He found nothing on Nath Noro, and is uncertain how to proceed.
All right. I don't know. Do we need to send him anything back, or I guess that's.
You should. I mean, you can send him and just thank him, so he doesn't look you up again, right? Or if you have any further instructions for him, that's another.
Yeah. No, I think I would just, when I get a chance, yes, and the servant send a note to him. Thanks for for taking the time to do that.
Okay. So all right. So Bayval is taken care of.
Right. Cross that.
And so they're Albane at in the local temple will be leaving you a note at the inn.
The Adventurers Guild.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. So Nath Noro, for anyone who forgets, Nath Noro was ancient sorceress many years ago. Sometime after the time of Verileg, I think we determined. It was hard to say it maybe, but known as a very positive force. She was a halfling, and those thousands of years ago, the halflings had some communities even up in the mountains, and so we have found evidence that she had operated in this area at some point, and it was a curious story that the Brise wanted to find some information on. So that's strike one. We didn't find any mention of the sorceress in the castle library. So that being said, do you want to try to teleport to the Adventurers Guild?
No, I don't think I'm really in the mood. Like Brise would be kind of
preoccupied.
Current events, yeah. So
yeah.
We'll save that for another time.
So there's, somewhere between a half hour and an hour, because time is sort of very fluid in medieval times, until you get to the invention of the pocket watch. And so you go and just wait in the parlor, or do you want to try to talk to Adabir?
Yeah, actually, a good idea. Let's talk to Adabir and bring up Tegriff right now if we can.
Come across Burlow, our butler here, has been with Adabir for years. He tells you he's
slow plot to murder him slowly coming to fruition.
that's right.
Burlow. Hey.
He says that the master is busy, but not too busy to see you. He's quite interested to hear anything you have to say today.
Okay.
And so he escorts you up, taps on the door, and you're allowed admittance. And he is standing at a table in the room beside his bedroom. He has several large tomes open, and he's got sheets of not just parchment, but it's actual rune paper. It's the paper that scrolls are written on. He is clearly writing a spell.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool.
And so there's a chair in the corner beside a fire, and he shuffles over there and sits. And there's sort of no other chairs. It's just books and his main table with sheaths of paper and manuscripts on it, and lots of ink and quills. Have you reached a decision?
Well, I am leaning more towards the idea of leaning more towards the plan for sure. The idea of teleporting there. It feels, it feels right to me, and it feels like the right thing to do. I still haven't been able to speak with Crowlum just to get a better idea of the plan yet. So for now, I'm still withholding my final decision.
Roll for me.
600.
He says, "You are very troubled by something. What have you come to tell me, if not your decision?"
Well, that is the next thing. How should I word this here?
Is it your love of scat?
I have to tell you, I can't live without that. You can send me in a volcano if you want, but I can't live with that. How do I word this? So, when you mentioned Verilag to all the apprentices, I guess just directly as possible, is that I'm very confident that Tegriff has been swayed by, her promises of power and
Or at least news of her.
right, at least whatever you told him, he's swayed him to possibly attempt to betray us now for her favor. Then I described, what happened.
Is there anything you're going to hold off?
Should I should hold off. Well,
I can't.
Yeah, no, I don't have to hold off anything. No, I was
Yeah,
thinking about does he know I have the power to she can appear to me, and I've kind of already brought that up anyway. So,
well, you make sure that he, what I mean. You say look, if I haven't brought it up, I want to,
yeah. So I do.
That.
Just tell him all the ways the conversation went down. He had a look in his eyes, I tell you.
He says, "You are the second one to bring such suspicions to me." Well, afraid he will have to be dealt with in some manner.
Read. Could jeopardize everything. He takes his own path.
If he suspects us and knows that he cannot reach Verlag, then he will certainly report our full operation to Miagrol, which means I cannot enlist Miagrol to dispatch with him.
Interesting. Who's the other person? I asked. I was just curious. Noticed his behavior.
I will not tell you.
All right.
Oh, are you
I
sure?
guess just to.
Oh, are you?
No. What is it? I wonder if the point of that. I guess just because to keep any kind of discussion from happening, maybe on the topic. Yeah. That's fair.
Well, leave the matter to me. Say nothing about it to anyone.
Okay.
We clearly will have to deal with this before any attempt to send you, or I should say, for you to send yourself. We can't have him trying to contact Verlag some other way.
Right.
Well, enough. You've done well. Let me know when you reach a decision. You feel you are close? Can I expect it by the end of the day?
I'll just say I hope so. Guy's like my manager. Like, chill out.
Did you read my email?
Off the simulation. It'll be done in 3 days. Like, I can't get it to you sooner. Like,
that's right.
I hope my manager's not watching this. Oh God, what have I done?
What are the odds that a Taco Bell manager is watching right now? And of course, 1,000 Karandrin points. Anyone who gets the Taco Bell to sponsor us. So it's 1,000 Karandrin points, and we'll eat Taco Bell.
Discretion.
That's right. So, Max, I'm seeing you freeze some. Could our chatters let us know if they see you freezing or if you're okay? But we'll keep going while we're at it.
I have YouTube pulled up. I'll see as well.
So down you go. It's clear that some of the chambermaids are making note of your visit. There's just a real sense that they're trying not to look like they're looking.
Yeah. I know I'm beautiful. That's clearly not it.
So you retire to the parlor, and I guess you could grab a book because there's not exactly a set time here.
Yeah, I can definitely do some reading on my tome.
Okay, so you just go fetch your tome and sit and read. Roll for me.
21.
Sorry, what was the number?
21.
Okay. So you read for about half an hour before you just find yourself staring into the fire. Um, um, you do get a note coming in telling you that he will be there in a few minutes. You tell them to bring lunch up, um, and that you guys, will need the room privately. So he arrives. They, roll in a very nice cart, laden with food, set it between you, and you guys embrace.
How was your day?
Trying.
A little casual conversation, I imagine.
Roll for me.
Damn it, 3. Let me guess, I can tell I'm like, just like with Adabir, right?
It's the first time you don't feel an enormous wave of warmth at his presence. And you fear that it's because of the conversation you're about to have.
Yeah.
He roll again for me.
12. These are not combat rolls. Jesus.
He feels he clearly recognizes the distance and something else in your face.
Yeah.
And he, sort of closes in on you again after you release the embrace, and he's like, "There's something wrong," and peers into your eyes.
Yeah. There is. I say let's have some lunch. Let's have some, food and yeah. And then I'll. There is something I need to discuss.
And he's like, "Tell me now." The
Okay.
meal.
So yeah, how am I going to word this? In the research and the endeavors, of the that has been going on here, there's a great opportunity that I can take that depends on me solely, but that is also an enormous risk. And I've been considering taking, this opportunity. But
A risk to the project?
A risk to myself.
What sort of risk?
It this is really hard. I mean, yeah, I just have to tell him it's like if things go wrong, you may not see me ever again.
Shock. He steps back. He pours himself a drink. He takes the drink.
Any potions? I feel like I need. I feel like this is like a situation. I'm like, I need some magic item to like resolve this.
just charm, cast charm.
Yeah, literally, yeah. It'll be okay. Oh my gosh.
You can't be considering this. How important is it to this? How important is the project?
Yeah, I've never even told him about.
What could you possibly be working on what is an adventurer's life? such that it involves throwing a beautiful young woman's life away. If it's money, I can support us here at the castle.
Yeah, Obi-Wan, Karen, it's a good idea. I think I'll need a drink after this. I'm gonna, as a rebuttal to that, I'm gonna bring up, like you said, my faith. I just say that there are, there are good deeds and there are heroic deeds, and this, I think, is a calling. This is a opportunity for me to
Serve the gods.
Yeah, to serve the gods.
Religion is one of the major problems in a relationship. It's one of the most common difficulties. That and whose faith we're going to raise the kids under, and oh my gosh, it's just
going to be Astalon or going to be,
right. Let me look him up. I got some guidance myself here for how he's going to react. Let's look up his personality and see. If he's extremely religious, then
Yeah, might be okay. I remember he's very impatient.
Yeah, you guys are going to murder each other. That's the joke. Why is my thing not opening? There it is. Let's see here. Let's see what there is to see about Aldrich. Okay. He makes you laugh. It's true. Yeah, he is impatient. Well.
Everyone, Karen said you froze for a little bit, Kevin.
Okay. I was noticing you freezing quite a bit.
Okay.
That hasn't happened for a little while, though. When would all this occur?
Did Adabir give me a time? Soon. I can't give an exact date, right? I just have to say soon, within the month.
Oh, and you need to urge the secrecy of this.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I do.
So you do so.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I realize I'm being vague with it, but it's still just, yeah.
I don't have a right to keep you from serving the gods. But you have to tell me when you're going and when I should stop hoping.
Say, of course, you deserve that at the least. We'll make sure about that.
He says, I'm sorry, I've got to get back to work. And he turns and leaves.
Oh, no. No. Oh, man. Well. that went well, I think, as well as it could have gone. God, I was almost afraid he would get like angry or like physical, like physically upset. But
Right.
whew. Okay, and yeah, he's just gone then. All right.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a chance for you to stop him if you would rather stop him. It's difficult to play these dramatic moments in role playing. I found I can't. I mean,
Yeah.
I just understand it as a standing rule that something like that happens. You can always stop them.
Yeah.
Um, of course, there's lots of reasons not to, but
Yeah. I mean, I do want. You know what? I'm going to stop him, and I do want to reemphasize that. Listen, I really care about you, and I'm telling you this because of that. Because I have the feeling, out of character, I'm saying I have the feeling that he might, forget that, adventure, and having a relationship. It's a complex game. So I tell him that I do care about you.
he takes your hand in his, brings it to his lips, kisses it very warmly, because I know you do. But my fears for you have spoiled my appetite.
Mm.
I don't think I'll be available for dinner tonight.
All
He
right.
squeezes your hand, pecks you on the cheek. Off he goes.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he would give me any guidance or not, but I guess that's that. I mean, I guess that doesn't really change my opinion too much. He is
I mean, clearly he gets the religious part of it,
right.
but by the same token, he can't ignore the emotional consequences and his
Right.
own fears.
Right.
So obviously, he should go with you.
I know if he brought that up, I'd be like, "Ultra, no, like, come on, man, you can't. It's not how it works."
Right.
But okay, yeah. Then I mean, I think my decision is still uh, to go forward with it until I, hear word from Crowlin, maybe suggesting otherwise.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll just have lunch here and kind of process that conversation a little while. And
Yeah, you sort of nibble. People come in, tap on the door and so on. They stoke the fire, and um,
I think I need some stoking. Jeez, I'm very.
yeah, it's a heavy moment. Um, it's a legitimate, it's a good break time for a break.
It is, I think. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna freshen our beverages and put on some cologne.
Go cry a little.
Go cry a little. Um, so um, so I hope you'll stick with us through the break. It'll just be a few minutes. Go get yourselves something to drink. Thanks for hanging with us thus far, and we'll see you in just a second. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us through the break. Um, we just left with um, Aldrich, kind of walking out on a lunch with Brise. Once Brise shared news that she may be taking another enormous risk that could be fatal. So, so you sort of, like I said, nibble through the afternoon,
Hmm.
sort of in a daze.
Yeah.
Um, it's Burlow who sort of um, sort of shakes you out of it, tells you, some of the maids are concerned about you. Um, and he kind of, says how much of that is real, I don't know. Um, is there anything amiss? Is there anything I can do? Was the meal not to your satisfaction?
No, everything's fine. Just try to put on a good face. Just that um, thinking through weighty things.
Well, this is certainly a house full of that. Master Tegriv was hoping to speak to you, but he's been sent on an errand. So
Nice.
he hopes to be back this evening if you're available.
So I guess I have to say, I mean, I could make an excuse, but I guess I can't do that too much, right? Because like Adabir's
How do
sick.
you mean?
Well, because Adabir, like, I don't want to. Oh, I guess they could just. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you could be. I mean, you could be out adventuring. You could just
Right.
go spend the night in the town for all
No,
that.
no, no, I know. What I'm saying is, he doesn't suspect me of knowing that he's going to betray us if he gets the chance. So I need to keep that up, right?
All right.
Means I can't excuse myself from too many meetings, but I could definitely say, oh no, um, I'll be busy then.
Yeah, you could have a note placed under his door.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Um, just say that. I'm not sure. It would be a good excuse. I don't want to say out adventuring because I kind of don't want to make sure I'm out. And he might be looking for me. Um, just feeling under the weather. Is that possible? Just
Well, I mean, you could say you have business in town until you have business away from the castle until whatever time you want to make an appearance, but you'd actually have to be gone.
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is there an excuse I could make so that I don't have to leave? That would be kind of reasonable.
Sure. You just can't be. You'd have to be in your room.
Right. Right. So just not feeling up to discussion today, feeling under the weather.
Sure.
Maybe tomorrow or some other time.
Since he's gone, it occurred to me I wanted to remind you that you do have a goblin training you in throwing.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to bring that up actually. If we have some kind of downtime and I'm not really kind of just waiting for stuff, I might go and do that for a while.
Well, it's mid-afternoon now.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been sitting in this room for a couple of hours, just
Yeah. I do want to talk to Crowlum. I might just peek in my room, see if
Sure.
his presence has been there. Quinn is blowing up the chat here with all these messages. Aw, poor breakup luncheon. It's not a breakup. We're just taking a break. It's all long. It's becoming long distance. I'm in a volcano. He's over here. It's fine. Crowlum can probably make him come back to you. What's the harm of asking him? Maybe he'll do this one little favor for you. Surely it's within his power. I'm not sure what you mean, Quinn. You might have to elaborate.
Crowlum can
him?
use his demonic powers to make Aldrich, loyal and
Oh, I see. Make him love me.
that's right. This is going to be like a classic tale, right? Like almost a fairy tale where, um,
Now I can't. Now I don't want to free crown because then that'll mean Adabir is not with me anymore.
your love of Aldrich, you put the whole region at risk.
Like if I was selfish before, I don't know what I am now.
That's funny. Leave it to Quinn to ruin true love. Yeah.
Peek in my room.
So no evidence that he's been there. It's an interesting little problem you have with him. He has no real way of leaving you messages. You could leave a tinted message on the floor for him.
True. I didn't think about that. Well, one other thing I was going to bring up, is it possible Adabir with his knowledge of demons would know how to, I don't know, draw him to here or somehow might even just bring it up.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You just want to send a note up about that?
Yeah.
Put it in Burlow's hands directly.
Yeah. And I guess if it's in his hands directly, I don't have to encode anything.
Right.
Ask the question.
You find him. He's passing, Burlow passes your room and you're like, oh, hey, could you get this to the master, and, directly. And, he's like, of course. And off he goes.
Little do we know, there's 3 Burlows along with him walking around. Wow, no wonder he's like so good at this.
That's right. He's very attentive. He's checking everybody's job. He's killing what spies he can find. You just find covered in blood.
He's like the best butler. Oh, have you ever watched Black Butler? Just like that. He's like a demon that takes the form of a butler. So he's just perfect,
That's
never
fantastic.
It's just does everything. But okay. So I pass that. I'll leave a note for Crowlem. Like you said, just kind of a little tucked away, so that he can find it. Just saying that. I guess I would just say to arrange.
Is there some? He takes the form of a rat. Is there some way to detect and summon him?
Well, that's the note too.
Oh, sorry. Right. The Tegriv still remains. Right. Is that the note you're talking about? No. What were you saying?
No, the note to Adabir is how he can possibly summon Crowlem.
Yes.
Here to let him know that we need to speak to him. I was going to leave a note for Crowlem in case he shows up.
Right.
That I do have developments, something to discuss. Great import. A lot of notes going around. I got to write this down.
Yeah, it's interesting. You also have to write, you don't have to just write the hits down. You have to write the misses, right? Like, okay, I've pushed Tegriv off,
Yeah.
And so I should expect, that I'm going to see him again, that he'll be also fishing for an answer.
Yeah. Okay.
And then your note, to Crowlem would just be something like,
just there have been developments and something I wish to discuss with you.
Would you say directly, Adabir wants to meet you?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I can't think of any harm
No, yeah, just be direct with it. So then that'll maybe expedite things.
All right. I mean, you've got your notes out.
Obi-Wan Karen is getting a little confused with all the characters that are going around. Gotta keep up.
All right. Well, here's the brief rundown. It's we have Verlag, who has trapped Kralum. We have Adabir, who is trying to release or drain Kralum to re-imprison Verlag.
Mhm.
And we have Mia Grawl, who is using Adabir for her own purposes, while also giving him a base of operations. And we have Tegrav, one of the apprentices of Adabir, who is looking to try to meet the powerful sorceress Verlag, betray the others, and then become her apprentice to gain vast and forbidden knowledge. I think that's it.
Yes, those are the major players for sure.
I mean,
and Burla is Adabir's trusted butler. So kind of
right.
another.
And Burlo
player.
is right. Burlo is the butler, the long-serving butler with Adabir.
Who's not of clones, who is not going to betray us. It's
right. And I guess technically we have in the hills to the west, we have the undead civilization now of the Philistan, who hate Verlag because it was descendants of her people that just slew every one of them. They would like to bring Verlag to an end, but of course they're very dangerous individuals, and but they're really not a player right now because their numbers were greatly reduced by a horrible attack. So that's it. Predominantly Adabir, Verlag, Kralum, Miogral. Predominantly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, none of the caption thing is just so limited. We can't show all the characters as bullet points. That would be really useful.
Yeah.
Maybe if we got a lot of donations, we could come up with a very good, convenient way of displaying.
That's right. I mean, I guess what we could do is you and I could work on a PowerPoint thing, and we could pop it up in the middle occasionally.
Well, maybe. I don't know. We behind the scenes, this is one PowerPoint. I can't do too much with it, but yeah, we can discuss that.
Yeah. Just one slide is what I'm thinking. And we pop and then pop it back, that kind of a thing. So, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So
Quinn asks, which one is a dragon? They all are. I thought we made that clear.
That's fantastic. That's really good. What are you missing here, Quinn? I don't know.
Yeah, come on. Okay.
Awkward. So,
all right. So with the notes sent out, I might just some downtime go and practice some spear throwing in the yard. Now, I guess, how long is Tegrav's errand? I don't want to be seen throwing spears if I said I was feeling.
Well, he's supposed to be back this evening. And so, you've probably got.
So I should be fine. Yeah.
Right. Maybe throw your arm out.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could send word down to the barracks, or you can just walk there yourself, whatever you want to do.
I'll just walk there myself. Tired of sending notes and things.
That's right. He is actually instructing some soldiers. He sees you. He just waves you over.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you want to be in your gear, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would have put on my my cloak. And stuff.
He pulls out, another sort of bale of hay with a mark on it. How are you paying him? Remind me.
I think a silver. Oh, hold on.
Just search for the word throw.
I searched for silver. Oh, SP. Yeah, practice spear throwing 1 silver piece a day.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting ready.
You're taking your own spear.
Yeah. Seems like it'd be better to practice with something I'm familiar with.
Right.
I'm going to be throwing often.
So, roll for me.
9. Okay.
Roll to keep going because you really don't want. You're really not in the mood for this.
81.
Okay.
Pushing myself. Probably not a good idea, but I am.
So yeah, you pay him a silver because you've been out there a good hour throwing and throwing. He makes you do it with both hands, so that is with each hand. So if you lose the use of one temporarily, then you can do what it takes. You notice a lot of stares from the younger goblins, learning their weapon, but uncharacteristically, they keep their mouths shut. That's interesting. I rolled a 4. Goblins would usually start making fun of you by now.
Yeah. Looking at my spear throwing skill, it is terrible.
That's right. So yeah, that burns a decent hour. Is it time to go hide in your room?
Yeah, I think so. We'll just see if we made it to Adabir at all, and else we'll just chill out.
All right. Retire to your room. How do you want to pass the time?
You can just do some reading, I think, from maybe one of my other books.
Are you going to wait to hear from Kralum, or prior to that, do you think you'll reach a decision?
I think I really want to wait for Kralum. Just, I mean, as a character and a player, how many bad teleports I've been through, it's like I want to have that second confirmation.
Right.
But I mean, I guess if he doesn't show up the entire night and he didn't answer,
it's not as though you can't change your mind if he tells you it's insane. But barring Kralum right now, do you have a decision?
Yes, my decision is to go. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are you going to do to pass the time?
I'm going to read one of my books here. I think book on the Fae. I know I've been reading a little bit of On Wings and Things: The Forms of Fae.
All right, roll it up.
4. What is going on? I don't think I've rolled above a 30 this entire session.
Hey, Arpin, glad you could join us.
Yeah, in time just for that amazing roll.
That's right.
Very unproductive day.
Well, I don't know. You got things accomplished. They just didn't go the way you wanted them to go.
Right.
I mean, things are off your list.
Yeah.
We know that you're going to try using your vision of Kralum. You're going to try to teleport
Right.
to his prison, and hopefully the defenses that Verilag in place will read you as Verilag and not annihilate you.
Yes.
Um, so, yeah, you just find yourself. I mean, you're just consumed, worried that Aldrich has taken this very badly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's right. Wings and Things is a fairy cookbook, Quinn.
For
Just
this
like
recipe, you will need 50 fairies.
exactly.
Serve 2.
And it's just like the children's book that's available in Karandrin, Quinn in the Bin, about a little troll named Oscar who lives in a trash bin. Wait, no. So, I mean, you are you're having a hard time not sending him a note
Yeah.
and saying we have to talk about this more.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting anything done. So you spend an hour trying to, you know, push through and push aside your concern and so on, but that is not happening.
Can it just be happy? Just fight away the depression. It's okay. No, yeah. I mean, do I try to reach out to Aldrich? I mean, I feel like
it's up to you. It is certainly a very strong desire you have.
I mean, I think I would, yeah.
Okay.
I think just to show that, it's, our relationship's important. It feels like I should reach out to him again. So,
what do you want your note to say? Unless you're going to go in person.
Yeah, I don't want to go in person. That might be kind of awkward. If he's like says no, but send him a note.
Quinn has posted that Quinn's bin has puppies, kids, and candy, sweet, delicious candy.
Let's go there.
Quinn, I think you're mistaking that for Quinn's panelless van, windowless panel van.
It doesn't even have a windshield.
It's
just completely encased.
Right. It's just black.
Oh my gosh.
To be seen at a playground near you.
Coming soon to a playground. The note will say, I feel that there's more to be said, and that it's better to talk about it together. Let me know when you are free, and we can absolutely talk about this more.
Okay. Just have them. Yeah. They can't find him at his work. They just put it under his door.
Mm-hmm.
Candy Fountain Charlie. I have not thought about that little internet video in ages. Feel free to post it to the link, Jack, and we'll do it. But the so off it goes. And you find yourself, tapping your foot for the next several hours, pacing. You do wind up drifting off to sleep. There's a knock at your door that wakes you up. And someone's saying in Goblin, Madam, there's someone here to see you. I put them in the upstairs parlor. It is Master Aldrich.
All right.
It is dark outside, so you've slept for a couple hours.
Okay.
You fret with your appearance. change into your dress, I assume, and away you go.
So still no word from Adabir about Kralum then?
There is not.
Okay.
So
Another fireside chat, shall we?
you walk in, he rises. I mean, worry is just etched all over his face.
Yeah.
You see it etched on yours clearly. You know, sort of a look of sorrow you get from him. He sees that, you know, you're both sort of in distress.
Yeah.
You ask to be left alone, you know, knock before entering. And you guys sit on the couch gazing at each other. Before you start, he says, I doubted I really had the strength to stay away. I'm glad you wrote me.
And I was feeling likewise, honestly.
Well, you brought him here. You better say
Well,
something.
I meant, yeah, I was just feeling the same worry, you know, the same that things were unresolved.
Is there not another way for you to serve your gods that doesn't put you at such great risk?
That's an interesting way to phrase that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the answer is, of course, yes.
Well, yeah.
But this has to be done, and you're the only one who can do it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's not about another way. I tell him it's that not taking this opportunity would be a disservice. This is something only I can do.
His shoulders kind of slump. I worry that your constant brushes with danger are going to be too much for me.
How do I feel about that? How do I feel about it? I mean, I could just, I mean, do I just laugh at that? Like, well, better get used to it, buddy. Or
You're kind of angry.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. You know, yeah, I mean, I tell him, it's like, well, I chose to be an adventurer, and that is, you know, the way I'm going to live my life. Can't change that.
He's getting angry.
Quinn, oh, here we go. Quinn says, who's this conversation with? They're talking with Aldrich right now. Well, we brought up the topic, we like separated. Now we're coming back to talk about it again. And now we're getting angry at each other.
What am I to tell our children when you go off and don't come home?
Well, I know in my head, I'm pretty sure I had a vision of settling down with a family. So, I mean, let me just make sure. Yeah, after 20 to 30 years of adventuring. You know, so I would tell him, how do I word that? You know, they'll, I mean, that'll come in time. Now, how do I say that? I'm just trying to tell him that you know, a family is is maybe more far off than he thinks, and that when that time comes, I'll be, settled down. I'll be ready for it. You want to word that?
He settles some. Roll for me. Cools some, maybe is the word.
50.
You can tell that, that was sort of an unexpected move on your part, that you have thought this through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, then what about my emotions? What about me sitting
How your
home?
emotions? Jesus. Sorry.
So needy. I mean, he just wants a girl who's going to live.
It's not going to possibly die every other day.
What about my constant fear that some misadventure will befall you? Some mishap?
Your Brisekin's gonna take care of everything. Shh. It's okay.
Quinn is the perfect relationship coach.
Yeah, really. I think just Quinn should sub in for me. Like, he's better in it than I am.
That's right. I can have up to 5. I think 5 people in the stream. So we'll get Quinn on here next time, and he'll just do Quinn's voice.
Uncle Crown's gonna make everything okay. So I would say to Aldra, what I'm trying to say is that this is why I'm telling you this exact what we're doing. This is what I'm telling you about this opportunity, because I think my life is at risk. I would always, tell you that. You don't have to fret about me. You shouldn't.
Can you honestly say that this opportunity is worth the risk?
I can, wholeheartedly.
He's shocked. He plainly shocked at your just dead answer. What is going on? This is where Quinn's answer comes in handy. Don't worry, your pretty little head. I'm just reading now. Audie Pool, you're Breezy Kitten. Okay.
Yes, what's going on?
Do you speak in broad terms, or do you say, I can't tell you anything? I mean, which way are you going to go with this?
I think I want to keep him. I have to keep him in the dark, because the more info I give him, the more he's going to want to know, and he might start looking himself. I just have to say it's. The issue would not even. It probably wouldn't even make sense. Would not make sense to you. It would.
Isn't that a lie?
There's no. Well, no. Okay, I guess what I'd rather say is there's simply no good way to explain it. Well, that's not good either.
Would you say, would you say something like there's many lives at stake other than my own?
Yeah, the last time I said that, I really regretted it. So I was careful about bringing that up again.
Well, I mean, okay, I may have forgotten that part.
I mean, but that was like a different kind of situation. This is just with Aldrich. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully that'll sway him to say that there are many lives at stake. This is an issue that goes beyond just like wealth or gold or power. This is actually to, um, you know, something for good.
He sort of looks at the floor, kind of crosses his hands, and he's just thinking. He's kind of processing it and processing it.
Yeah.
And he, without looking up, he just reaches over to you and grabs your hand, and he says, "Then go." And then he looks at you and he says, "And I'll be here when you come back."
Aw. Ooh.
Quinn,
Hey,
that old softy.
I'd say thank you.
You guys embrace. And then you do more than embrace.
All right. Please go into detail.
Wow. Emotions are high. Oh my God.
Obi-Wan Karen, does she uncover his feet?
That's a biblical expression for sex.
Really?
It's
Oh
a
my
euphemism
God.
in the Bible. She taught me that for sex.
No way.
So if you do a search, Bible uncover his feet, you'll find the passage. And that was at that time, that's an idiom for sex. We joke that it actually is uncover his 12 inches.
Okay.
Well, here's the deal.
This isn't
Let's
awkward
just
at all. How's it going, Kevin?
your physicality, your physical intimacy is going to go to its maximum point unless you or he wishes to stop it. It's I rolled a double aught, and
okay. I would like to stop just because this is the parlor and this is not
this furniture is nice. We're gonna keep this.
And I already got drunk and got drugged, into telling information. I don't want to be that girl in this house. They find me passed out, half naked on the.
Wow,
I would like to try to halt.
All right. Give me 2 rolls.
Halt the removal of the clothes. What's that?
Give me 2 rolls. Give me a pause in between the rolls.
Okay. 75.
Okay. Okay. And now give me a roll to stop.
28.
Well, all right.
Interesting.
It was a fleeting thought in your mind.
Nonetheless,
Well, congratulations.
I'm pretty sure my character is really low, like self-discipline too. Wondering if that influences at all, but
well, I have it up here, so yeah, that was that number came into play definitely.
yeah.
So congratulations, Brise has had her first sexual encounter, and
Give me those experience points.
yep, yo.
Oh my gosh. Never quite had a role-playing session like this. I gotta say, this is a first in Karandrin and in anything. So interesting.
Welcome to the Kama Sutra Drin.
Oh my god.
Parlor herpes, says Quinn. Oh my god.
Where has this furniture been? Let's at least try to keep it neat. God damn. Okay.
Well, there you go. He's kind of dismayed that it all happened. And he's kind of awkward and doesn't know what to say. And
me neither.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, but you both sort of admit it was kind of wonderful, if clumsy and unexpected. And
I'm gonna put a little sunglasses emoji in my notes next to the
how about a wink?
Yeah, too. Sunglasses wink. No, he is winking. Oops.
He's okay.
Winking.
I'm not looking at your notes. Let me go over here. There you go.
He's winking behind the sunglasses.
He's shaking his head behind sunglasses.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, I would like to try to get back to my room. Then I want to linger here. A proper thing. It doesn't seem like it'll help anybody.
You're both sort of very glad. He apologizes for like if you weren't, if that's not what you were expecting, he wasn't expecting it either. He's quite nice. He's quite sweet about it. And gives you a number to a clinic, and then he
oh my god.
So you guys get dressed and get made back up, and how
long have I known this guy? Jesus. Trying to scroll back. It probably has been like a month or two.
In terms of like actual time spent together, it's not a huge amount of time.
Right.
But it was just one of those super emotional moments.
Yeah.
Of closeness, and
it's naturally fun to play. Yeah.
So he tells you, he's going to make every effort to see you for lunch tomorrow.
The Texas Uncle Ranch. It's actually shaped, if you look on the map, upside down Texas.
That's right.
Nargas. Rearrange the letters of Nargas.
That's right.
Buggins.
So you feel kind of overwhelmed and so on, and you guys kiss fully, and off he goes. Yeah, you have a it's the it's a crazy place in your life, and so he embraces and leaves, and you kind of, just going to process it, and then you leave and go back to your room where you're going to be hiding from Tegrov.
Yep.
So
well, at least I made it to my room. That's a plus.
Right.
Imagine pat myself on the back.
That's right. You head back. You're sort of not in the mood to read or anything. You just kind of process everything that has happened today, and there's no attempt from Tegrov to contact you. You not surprisingly fall asleep at some point early in the evening, and there's and you're awakened by something on the floor pulling at your covers, and you roll over and look down, and there is our little Secret of Nim rat with your note in his hands.
I saw that movie again, actually, like a couple weeks ago.
That's really fun. The book is actually Mrs. Frisbee.
Yeah.
And the Rats of Nim. I've never read the book. I would like to.
Yeah, they avoided the name Frisbee for possible copyright reasons.
Right.
They thought they'd be sued, which just goes to show how great America is sometimes. Change the entire work of literature to avoid lawsuit. No, it's a good book. Yeah, it's definitely like children's reading, but it's
the best type of children's.
Yeah, exactly. It is challenging, and it does have like interesting topics, and
works at multiple levels.
The rats are the good guys, instead of typical kind of bad guys and stuff.
I love anything where small creatures are making use of large things in clever ways.
Yeah,
I love that kind of thing. So I love like The Rescuers.
Yeah,
like one of my favorite Disney movies is The Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah,
it is got so much great comedy in it. It makes me laugh every time. And so Kralum's there. Okay. And he gestures to the note and he says, "What is this about?"
Really quick, is it, what time of day is it if I glance out the window?
It's pitch black.
Oh, black. Okay, yeah.
When you put your face to the embers of the fire, they have been out for 3 to 4 hours. Oh, dear God.
That was good to know.
I need a second reading.
Brings the other side of the face.
That's right.
Oh, what is this about? Well, I mean, I gather myself as best I can, rub my eyes. And,
yeah.
Maybe you don't need sleep. Crazy. I guess he does because he's a creature. But I tell him that we had a realization, and I guess I never told him that I had a vision of him. I guess it wouldn't have mattered, but long time ago I had seen your prison in a vision, and I saw you chained there. That's how I kind of, what kicked off this whole adventure here. But we had the realization the other day that could that be used by me to try to teleport to your location? Just that image of seeing where you were trapped. I saw, inside the crater. That was a very accurate explanation for me, having just woken up. I'm like, teleport to you.
And surely you must know that there would be vast defenses against such a thing. But you or Adabir have reasoned that the soul link that exists between you and Verlag means those defenses may ignore you.
That's correct.
And now you want my opinion on such an undertaking.
Yes, and Adabir as well.
It has a small chance of working. I know that demons have no chance, as my own forces have tried to release me. Before she extended some of her enchantments, I had the ability to communicate with my realm
Oh,
and ordered them to send forces here to tear my prison apart. As soon as the portal opened several hundred feet above me, they were obliterated by my own power as channeled by Verilag.
genius. Sorry, continue.
If you fail, I will be trapped forever.
Yes.
But if you succeed, you would have, if you prepare yourselves, direct access to the manacles.
Mm-hmm.
It's madness.
Perhaps. But we may need a little madness now that we're running short on time.
She's clearly deepened the illusions over the mountain. The eagles now fly overhead without even glancing down.
Wow.
I cannot advise you to take the risk. But I will still speak with Adabir, as I can at least describe the runes on my forward manacles.
Mm-hmm. I also ask him about and are you privy to the types of defenses that are there? I mean, obviously demons themselves get obliterated, are there other kinds of wards against other creatures you can detect? Like what
I
their
have
effects might be?
no ability with my power so drained to pry lore from the various enchantments she's placed around me and around the mountain.
Yeah.
I can only tell by observation. Birds pass so low without seeing the volcano that they succumb to the fumes and fall in.
Wow.
But I have seen no one reach the summit. In 5,000 years.
Are you sure? Try to remember.
I have heard her talk about trolls and undead patrolling the base of the mountain.
One has reached years. Okay. Then I think I will. So then I'll just say, well, then if you want to wait around until it's morning and Adderby will be aroused, I can, take you to him, that you two can have the
Yes,
discussion.
you'll have to take me. I have tried to gain entrance. It cost me a rat. I will turn at daylight and wake you if necessary.
All righty.
He scurries away through a hole. You throw the note on the fire. I think it's a pretty good place to stop.
I think so too. Yeah.
So you'll just fall back asleep because it's late. I mean, it's not after midnight, but it's probably an hour past your bedtime.
Yeah.
And we will leave it there.
Very interesting. It has a slim, very small chance of working. It does not improve my confidence. But
yeah.
I think I'm still, game to try it.
This is going to be fascinating. I mean, fascinating.
So unclear whether it'll work or not.
Yeah. Wow. Well, everybody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying the whole mountain's like shrouded in illusion. There's just no good alternative. It's just
right.
Powerful sorceress.
Yeah. It's she took a lot of precautions, but of course, what's at risk for her, was having the power of, I don't know, 10 or 20 level 50 sorcerers. I mean, she is a challenge. Now, I guess a question becomes, you do have another source of knowledge upcoming, and that is the meeting with the eagles.
Yes.
But you may not have time to wait for that.
Yeah. and I don't even know the eagles in kind of like the priest birds, they seem much more like primal, and they're kind of like how they address good and evil. I almost don't think they would be a good counsel.
They're not as nuanced
Yes.
as this issue requires.
Right. Or even just the knowledge of magic,
Right.
Yeah. So, yes, that is upcoming, but might not have enough time, and they may not be who I need to meet with right now.
Right. So, well, that is an interesting episode right there. Fascinating.
Yeah, interesting indeed. A lot of stuff. Oh, it's so funny.
Well, we want to thank everybody for hanging with us and watching episode 41. Next week is episode 42, and some interesting developments, no doubt. We will see if what the time frame is for Brise to teleport to the volcanic prison of Kralums, and with proper defenses, maybe she can survive even a failure. But thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it, as I'm sure Max does. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave us comments and tell us what you think about things going on. Max has his own YouTube channel that you can find there, where he discusses video games and music. And we always thanks to Elliot Dunovitz for the character art that we use there in between us. And you can find her at artstation.com/Tortolua. And I wrote a book that I'm pretty happy with, and you can find it's over there. No, it's over there. It's right there. That you can find on Amazon, and I'm pretty pleased with it, and I hope you enjoy it too. So take a look at that, and we will see you guys next week for episode 42. Max, say goodbye to the lovely people.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Hope you enjoyed the session. It was definitely a different one in terms of what was going on, but I still thought it was fun to play through. And next week we'll be back for exploring the answer to the life, the universe, and everything. Episode 42.
42.
All shall be revealed in episode 42.
We find out the Karandrin is actually a supercomputer working on the answer.
A simulation.
That's right. Well, thank you again, everybody. We will see you next week for episode 42. Bye.